Hey, welcome to my journey to another weighing video. I'm just going to talk a minute on my way down to the doctor, and then we'll talk some more afterwards. But I am on my way down to get my back injections, my nerve blocks, medial branch block, that's what it's called. They're going to do it in the L5, S1 facet joints. This is to see if I'll be a good candidate, if I will be, if ablation will help. And he says insurance makes you do it before they just do the flat out ablation anyway. So what are you gonna do? But I'm here to tell you, I'm nervous as a cat. Not because I'm scared of injections, because I've had many injections in my back over the years, many, and I always take them like a champ. Everything I've ever had, I'm very good with pain. Do I like pain? No. Am I going to sign up for pain every day? No. But I have a good tolerance for it. I can power through physical pain. Emotional pain, depression, that's the thing I have a hard time powering through. I've been doing better since yesterday, and I'm better today. And we'll talk about that in a minute too. But I'm nervous about this one only because the last one I had down here, he hit a nerve. I mean, he was dead on it. When I tell you, I've told you this before, when I tell you I fell off the table and hit the floor, I mean, I jumped straight into the floor and screaming like a werewolf on drugs or something. It was terrible. I had the people in there scared. They were looking at me. I couldn't sit down. I could not. They have you sit in like a chair or a wheelchair or something. They bring you a little drink, you know, make sure your blood pressure's, everything's good before they send you on your way. I couldn't sit down. I could not. I just had to stand there. I just stood there and cried in the recovery. Just stood there and cried before I finally was able to go and get my car and leave. And so that's what's got me nervous. It's got me nervous that what if he hits another nerve like that? I've only had the steroid injections. I've never had a block. I've never had a nerve block before. And then if this goes well, then we can see about the ablation. But anyway, we're here for a weigh-in. What I thought we'd do is we just talk a few minutes on the way down there, and then between this one and the next one, I'm going to insert a little something we hadn't done in a while. And then we'll talk about what kind of big baby I was down here at this appointment. But I wasn't sure what my weight was going to do. Y'all remember last week I lost a little over 7 pounds. But that's because I had been sick as a dog. Well, I quit taking that medicine. We'll talk about it in a minute. I just I could not take it. You're not supposed, we'll talk about it in a minute. Anyway, I weighed and I wasn't sure, but I lost 2.4 pounds. And that puts me at a new high. A new high of 143.1 pounds that I have lost now. The medicine, you're really not supposed to stop any medication without your doctor's approval, unless you're having side effects. Then obviously there's some medicines that tell you if you have these certain side effects, quit immediately. But this was a side effect that I could not live with. I could not live with the constant 24-hour, unless I was asleep and didn't know no different, nausea. I couldn't do it. So I called them last week. I told you last week I called them. It took until today to hear back again. I heard back from him once, then I heard back from him again, and he wants me to do a video call with him Saturday. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But I stopped taking it, and you should not stop taking your depression medications unless the doctor directs you, because some things you're not supposed to stop cold turkey. Now, unless you're having, like, you know, ideations of certain things, you shouldn't just quit cold turkey. But I did this because I just couldn't go on, and so I knew he was gonna fuss at me. She didn't say he fussed at me. He just wants to talk to me. Hold on just a minute. Okay, sorry, I didn't bring my drink. So that's what I'm gonna do Saturday. But I'm almost here. Now I'm gonna yawn. I'm almost here, and I thought, like I said, we would just talk him in. I'll give you my way in on the way down, and then, oh, I'm gonna be a little early. I'll tell you, I'm nervous. I'm just nervous. The unknown is the unknown. The other ones, they will spray. They have like a numbing spray. They would spray on your back when I would get the other ones, and I just got to where I would tell him, don't spray that because it hurt worse than the actual needle did, because it burned. It was like ice cold. It burned. I guess it's supposed to keep you from feeling the needle. I just said, no, don't use that no more. And I'm gonna let them use it today. I'm gonna let them use it today if they do. Surely they do. But anyway, well, that's all I'm gonna say for right now, and we'll jump back in the car when it's all over. So here we go. We forgot the 135. And then today, we're almost to the next one, but if I can get a hold of it, we're at the 140. So there you have it. Get closer. I know I have it up to 225. I only want to go to 175, but I'm gonna have to put that back on there, ain't I? But I had more room on my jar, so I just kept going. Well, I am pulling out of the back doctor, and I'm just gonna tell you what, that was absolutely horrible. I jerked, I moaned, I cried. If you got to have it done, I apologize for telling you this, but I ain't gonna come on here and lie about it. I even told him, I said, I pride myself on being able to take pain. I said, but this is terrible. He said, I don't judge anybody. He said, when it comes to pain, he said, there are so many things that affect your pain. And we even talked about this when I was at his appointment about depression. He said, pain is your brain. He said, pain goes through your brain. He said, let's see, where are you going? Oh, okay. He said, depression. He said, that'll change it. He said, there's all kind of things that will affect your pain tolerance, your pain level, etc. He said, and I try not to judge anybody for anything, because he said, everybody's going through something and doing it differently. And I'm going to tell you what, today was, whew. And the bad part is, you have to, if this works, and I have to tell you, I don't have any pain. There's no pain in my back. There's pain like in the muscle. Where he where he jabbed it. But as far as like back ache, it's numb. So if it works, the insurance makes you do it twice, which is so stupid. If it works the first time, why would they put you through that again? So I asked that little boy who was, taking us back and forth and whatnot. He said they usually like to do it 2 weeks apart. I'm like, oh, because I was telling him, I told him, I said, I'm really nervous. I said, because the last time I had shots, which were steroid injections, and like I said, I had bunches of those. I had that experience. I said, and so now I'm really worked up about it. And he said, when we were leaving, he said, well, now you know what to expect. I said, yes, I do. I said, I'll still be nervous. He said, when you come, he said, if you don't see me, you just tell them, come get Trey, and I'll come make you feel better. I said, okay. But I'm going to tell you what. And he seen the struggle I was having. He said they can, when he knows some people don't take to it as easily as others, when they do the ablation, if we get to that point, they can do it under a sedation. He said, when he described it, I said, like when you have a colonoscopy? He said, yes, when you have a colonoscopy. So I said, well, yes, that's what we'll do. He said, you'll have it done at a surgical center, which I'm sure it'll be right where we're going to pass. And I'm like, yeah, yes, that's what we'll do. Because if what he just did to numb me, and he did it in like, I'm thinking 4 spots up each side. And golly, I hate to whine, but whew, whew, he asked me, did I have anything fun planned for this afternoon? I said, no. He said, well, I hear they have really good milkshakes at Chick-fil-A. I did get me a little baby Sprite and some peanut butter crackers. So I'm not gonna go get me a milkshake. It'd probably make me sick on my stomach. That's one thing. Now, I did get a piece of cake. Me and David went to the store, and we were both wanting some cake, but we didn't want like a whole cake. I didn't want to make a whole cake, so we were at Walmart's because I had to get some. Ooh, that Popo. Ooh, y'all. He was in a Mustang, or he went by some. I think it was a Mustang. He went by some. He come up behind me, and there was a. We just left a stoplight, and he come up around me and just shot in front of me. I'm like, and then he had his turn signal on to keep going over that way to turn. I'm like, what is this dude doing? He had them lights on. He was pulling the dude that was in front of me, so he must have caught him doing something that he didn't like. So, gosh, I'm glad that wasn't me. I'd have cried my way out of it. The way I feel right now, I would have cried my way out of it. Yes, I would have. Hold on. Now I'm fixing to sneeze. Okay, that's better. So, I think I'm just going to go home. And I'm actually going to cook supper. They say take it easy. Just do your regular activities. Don't, overdo nothing. Which... there ain't no chance of that here lately, overdoing nothing. And I am going to cook supper, so that's a bonus. But I actually did something this week that I haven't done in 2 weeks, and that is make a menu plan. For 2 weeks, I have not cared. Excuse me, that Sprite's getting to me. And so I actually went back there yesterday and worked one up to get my groceries today. Oh, we got a thing in the water bill. They send us a little newsletter about town, things that's happening and going on. And they have built a new, like, living center, activity center, library that I have got to go check out. It's over on the way to my senior citizen Goodwill. So it's not on this side of town, it's on the other side of town. But I'm gonna have to go check that out. So they got 55,000 new books. So, pretty much the only thing I go for is cookbooks, because I don't have any to read. But gosh, it's hot in here. I'm trying to think, was that all? I know I got to find out what Mama wants to eat for Mother's Day. Holly and them's going to the beach. And I think RJ and his Holly's going up to her mama's. So David asked me what I want to eat. I said, well, I'll find out what Mama wants to eat. We don't go out to eat often. I said, but I think they go out to eat even less than we do. So it might be something she's really been wanting. So we'll find out. I just got to actually call and ask. It seemed like there might have been something I was going to tell y'all when we got back in this car, but I don't remember, because he's got me Bug Tussle. Ain't that the Bug Tussle? Petticoat Junction. Was the town called Bug Tussle? What am I thinking about Bug Tussle? Somebody tell me. I think. Did y'all used to watch Petticoat Junction? Boy, I did. I used to watch all them old shows back in the day when they was popular. So, well, that's probably all I know. But if you're going to get a nerve block in your spine, just don't worry about it, because your experience might be different from mine. But I did want to share with you my experience. So, I won't have a haul for you tomorrow, because I ain't been shopping this week. like I said, I just started feeling halfway decent yesterday, and then today, so I'm not going to have any. And oh, our dryer broke. David does his laundry on Mondays. He had that thing running for like 3 hours, and not the first lick of heat went to it. Not the first lick. He said, you better call somebody. So I called, and we set a dollar amount. If it's over this amount to fix it, we'll just get a new one. And if it's under, we'll just fix this one. So it was under, but then what happened, the vent from the dryer to the wall was clogged full. Now I clean my lint trap religiously, but I've never taken that vent off and cleaned it once your dryer is plugged in. And it seems to me like the last time we had somebody come look at that dryer, they would have said, you're a little bit clogged, because this did not happen overnight. This did not happen overnight. We called somebody, it was probably 2 years ago, and told them this thing is not hardly heating up. No, there's nothing wrong with it. So, but he said, what he could see from the wall, he said, you want to get the rest of that vent from there to the outside of the house cleaned out. So I got somebody coming to do that tomorrow. So it was a little more than what we planned on fixing it, but this should last for many years. Knock on wood. But what it did when it was clogged, it wasn't just clogged, it burnt the heating element out. He showed it to me. Lord have mercy, he took the vent pipe out on the front porch and vacuumed it out. And then he had to go out there with his little blower and blow all the lint off the porch. It's all in the yard. But I asked him, could I do a couple loads of laundry? He said, well, if you have to. So I did have two little loads of laundry. My bathroom and my kitchen laundry had to get done. But once they come out tomorrow, then I'll feel better. Now that's one reason, and there's your classic example. I don't leave the house with my dryer running, because you know that's like a leading cause of house fires, is dryers. And when I seen the lint that was in there, oh my gosh, that was a fire waiting to happen. So if you ain't never pulled your dryer out and cleaned your duct from the machine to the wall, do it. Do it. I had to call, they don't do the other duct. I had to call some, actually it's HVAC people, and they do dryer duct cleaning too. So I'll feel good to have that done. I have gone outside where it comes out the side of the house and stuck stuff up in there to try and loosen it up and get it to blow, but you can't get it so far up in there. So anyway, that is what is going on tomorrow. And then Saturday, I told you I got my psychiatrist appointment, so wish me luck on that. I'm ready to get everything situated. And I got to go home and keep a pain journal, diary, whatever you call it. He puts the times down. That little boy put the times down there where you're supposed to rate your pain. What's your pain? What's your pain? What's your pain? And the doctor said for him to even approve that, say that it's worked, you have to be an 80% reduction. Well, when I got up, he walked me to the door and he said, okay, well, what's your pain? I said, well, let me move around. I said, I don't really feel no pain. He said, I said, yeah. So anyway, but I plan on doing a meal prep Saturday. Maybe I can get up early and get that done. Surely I could get that, as long as I don't stay in the bed too long. Since I had these depressive business going on, I've been sleeping 10-12 hours a day. No joke. Every day. Can't hardly drag myself out of bed. I got up. It was a decent hour yesterday, but I still slept 10 hours. And that's from a girl who used to sleep 2 to 4 hours a night. So things change. But that's all I know. I don't think I'm going nowhere. I'm out and about. It's almost 4:30. Oh, I was there a long time. Oh, I really was. So, all right, well, that's all I know. So, I'll see you. I guess I'll see you Saturday for my mini plane grocery haul.